You stare a while, you'd rather just stay inside your perpetual heart.
From gold skin to cinnamon green cars and citizens, airless university scholarships. Hold me when you see my face.
Compass follow somewhere.
Hi everyone, Catherine here with Real Chicago Real 360. Really excited today. We are interviewing Quentin Lee and Simon Tam. Simon is a part of the Slants and the Slants Foundation, and Quentin Lee is an Asian American filmmaker out of LA. Where are we coming from?
Oh, so Cincinnati, Ohio for me.
I was from Hong Kong originally. Then we moved to Montreal in Canada. Then I came to the United States for college at Berkeley. And then and then I went to East Coast for a year for grad school at Yale. And then I came out to LA in 1993 and it's been here. And I've been in LA since for 27 years.
Cool. So let's just start from the very beginning. How did you guys meet?
For a long time, I played bass in an all Asian American band called the Slants. And now I run our nonprofit arm called the Slants Foundation, plus just end up speaking, writing books, and doing all kinds of other troublemaking activities.
Awesome. And then Quentin, a little bit about you.
So I'm a filmmaker and I've been making films since going to UCLA Film School in 1993. Made my first feature with Justin Lin called Shopping for Fangs. I went to Toronto Film Festival and also discovered John Cho. I was just telling somebody else, I'm very old. So anyways, I was just stalking Simon. I don't know why, because I was like, oh, okay, let's. And then it actually, while I was hearing a lot of stuff about he was trying to trademark his band, the Slants, and he fought for a long time to get it trademarked. And I thought, wow, this is such a great story. And I somehow had to reach out to him. And I think I might have Facebooked him and then I listened to his music. I was an immediate fan. So I want to get some of your tracks in my indie work. So that's how we met.
Yeah,
Very cool.
And I think the fan relationship was mutual too. I was familiar with a number of projects that Quentin was involved with. And it just we seemed to connect in a lot of different ways, both in terms of like how we approach language and how we saw that as a vehicle, pairing it up with the arts to create social change, to create interesting discussions around identity and like what stuff means and how we can kind of push the boundaries a little bit to get people to look at these other unexamined experiences.
Amazing.
So in Chicago connection to mention that because for some reason I thought I met Simon back when I was going to the film festival circuit in Chicago, who I used to go to the Chicago Asian Film Festival quite a bit with Ben Kim, because Ben Kim is very much involved in music. And of course, I didn't know that I'm actually that old. And Simon is actually the next generation. He's a millennial and I'm a Generation X.
Learn something new every day. Border. Yeah, I'm on the border too. Yeah.
It's that Asian blood. We always look way younger than we are.
Asians never crazing, right? Yeah. I get mistaken for 20s all the time. I love it. So a little bit about the Slants and the Slants Foundation. You have an all Asian band, obviously something that's not super common, especially a rock band. Tell us a little bit about that experience, and then tell us a little bit about your music videos and then the foundation.
Yeah, so I toured in the Slants for about 13 years. We toured all over the world, playing music festivals, punk rock dives, everything like that. But we also had kind of this interesting claim to fame in that we played at more anime conventions than any band in the world. We played a lot of these geeky events where it's obsessed with anime and Asian culture. And while we were playing at those events, we would do workshops on bullying and anti-racism work. So we were really, really intentional about integrating that in work. And on top of that, even though I fought against the government for almost a decade, we worked with the government when it came to Asian American outreach. So worked with President Obama to do an anti-bullying campaign. We used to play for troops serving overseas, played in a number of maximum security prisons to try and help the Asian American populations within those walls as well. So it's been a big part of our work. And then when we decided to retire from live touring, just because we were tired of living out of like buses, vans, and airplanes, we decided to focus on that nonprofit work and because it was something we already cared about. It was pretty seamless, and we decided to, like, why not? Let's use our platform. Let's use our resources to help empower other Asian Americans, bring them additional visibility, and also help them with the kind of artistic and business aspects of their careers.
Amazing. And then along this journey, we have these music videos. Quentin, let's dive in a little bit about that experience and where these music videos are going.
So basically, I think recently I was doing like a web series or a feature film called Co-Misery, and it's now on Amazon. And I actually approached Simon, the first time actually, just said, hey, can I get a couple of, your songs and things like that. And then Simon also introduced us to an artist named Darrow, I believe, and who also is part of the foundation. And I just thought, wow, these people are really talented. And so I was just thinking, I thought, why don't we do, I just wanted to do more with, the Slants Foundation. And so why don't we create a series to showcase sort of like 8 up and coming music artists, which is what they're doing anyway. And then we sort of give them a platform kind of like YouTube, but it's much more focused in terms of marketing, just to showcase, 8 up and coming Asian American artists. And that's the idea of like the AMV Fest came from. And, and Simon can tell you more about the artists because I don't know it.
Awesome. Simon, tell us a little bit about these artists.
So a number of the artists are ones that we had been working with either through our artist think tank program, which is kind of like a monthly call where we get together and do a workshop and allow some time for collaboration, or they were actually supported by one of our grants. So for example, Jason Chu, he's an Asian American rapper, who released the work that we helped fund in 2020, because we know that at the outset of the pandemic, we saw a couple of big trends. Like one, there was this big rise in anti-Asian rhetoric. And two, most people don't realize this, but one of the areas most overlooked in terms of government support or aid was that of the artists who, creatives actually drive a large part of our economy, but we're not seen as like a big industry like airlines or transportation, even though there are more people working in the arts, and I would argue in a lot of ways benefit society in ways that are oftentimes invisible. So we decided to respond to that by funding projects that spoke to this anti-Asian rhetoric, but in a way that drove conversation and that solicited empathy. And Jason Chu was one of those artists. He released an album called Living Room, and we thought, hey, why not? Like, it's sharing those stories that are oftentimes underheard. And, we're kind of one of the most underrepresented communities in the entertainment space. So why not lift this up, help fund that project, and get more people to be able to engage with those stories?
Oh, that's so beautiful. And I believe Lunar New Year is coming around, which is always really important to Asian American Pacific Islanders across the world. I believe that's the time we're going to be seeing these music videos and having this film festival or this music festival. Is that correct?
Yes, we're dropping it basically on the evening of, at the evening before Lunar New Year, which is February 5th, I believe. So yeah, it's going to be on AsianAmericanMovies.com or AAM.TV, and it's going to be free the first few seasons. Yeah, so it's really exciting about that. And
that's
people
great.
can party with basically a New Year's Eve party, but API style.
And so if people want to get involved also in the foundation or maybe donate, or perhaps if an artist is wanting to reach out, how do they get a hold of you guys?
Well, to get involved with the Slants Foundation, people can just go to theslants.org, whether they're an artist looking for mentorship or resources, or for someone who wants to look for new artists and find ways to support the culture. Folks can easily donate. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We're 100% volunteer driven, so every single cent goes directly towards programming and artist support.
That's amazing.
And I just want to say that the AMV Fest is going to run for 4 seasons. So basically through this year, and I know that Simon is always looking for new artists. So I think that the best thing is to reach out to theslants.org and submit yourself. And yeah.
That's wonderful. My last question for you guys is, what is next on the horizon for each of you, even if it's separate or together?
Oh, Simon can go first.
Put it on me, huh? Wow. We're super busy with the foundation. We've been really excited to launch all kinds of new works. And one of the things I'm working on now is actually launching a new music business conference that's designed entirely for artists of color. So every single featured speaker, there is going to be a person of color. There's going to be entire program tracks on arts and activism. So that's something we're launching this June. In addition to that, I'm working on another book, maybe a film. I don't know, maybe with Quentin's help. I mean, we're just always looking for new creative projects to get involved with.
And I have some great ideas I want to tell Simon, but we can't talk about it in public.
No, it's all right. But more
Yeah.
more films in the horizon, more film festivals. And I know with the pandemic and how things are changing the world, it's definitely going to be like a let's see what happens attitude for a lot of people right now. Do you guys feel that as well with the future?
I mean, I think, yeah, there's definitely a level of uncertainty right now. And that makes it really difficult for a lot of people, particularly performing artists. But for those of us who are kind of regrouping, it's kind of a blessing in disguise, because I've found more time to just kind of sit there and think about the kind of creative projects that I wanted to pursue, but I've never had time to because I was so busy on the road touring with my band or doing things like that. So this is a great time for people to innovate, to get together and work on projects. I mean, I've just been so grateful for the ability to work with Quentin on this, as well as Co-Misery, and just for us to be able to dream up of ideas. It's like, why not launch them, see what happens, and demonstrate the value that creatives have to shaping our culture, especially at a time period where the world really needs it. Like, we need those opportunities for escape. We need those funny, quirky, like sci-fi horror takes on what is happening with the pandemic. Like, this is all really, really important. And so I think that as we continue to move forward and as the world continue kind of return to what we think of as normal, well, there's going to be more opportunities for creative work in the arts.
Fantastic.
I mean, for me, I think rather than seeing COVID as really a handicap, I really do see it, have been seeing it as an opportunity, because I noticed that, since COVID started, people have no time for bullshit. It's like my life is on the line. I'm not going to do anything that I don't want to do. And so I'm so glad that Simon and I connected, and I've just been following this philosophy, reaching out to people, and we just want to do things that we really care for. And if this is the last thing we do before we die, this is what's going to matter,
That's beautiful. Awesome. Well, everyone will definitely have to check out aam.tv for the festival.
AAM.tv, that's correct.
Yes, aam.tv. Yep. That's going to be, I mean, anytime they can go anytime to just see amazing entertainment, but specifically this festival is going to be starting the 5th and going on for, again, remind me, 5 days?
It's going to go on basically for 4 seasons, and
Four
it's going
seasons,
to go on the whole year. Yeah, once it's posted, then that festival is on basically for the life of the forever, probably.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and folks can definitely also subscribe to Asian American Movies and check it out, because there's film series, there's TV shows, there's documentaries, there's really cool shows. And it's a place for artists. Like, people are always saying that they're hungry for more and more Asian American entertainment, like beyond Crazy Rich Asians and Fresh Off the Boat. Well, this is actually a place to do it, especially to support independent creatives who are doing really groundbreaking work. And
Absolutely.
so this is one of the reasons why we're just so
the Slants collection, which is the ultimate collection of the Slants music videos, and also
that's right. That's on there.
It's on AsianAmericanMovies.com right now. So,
well, that's really fun that there's a flexibility of it's not just films, not just short films or features, but it could also be other types of entertainment, other forms of art on there.
Of course.
On my end. But yeah, so is there anything else you want people to know as we're kind of wrapping it up here and want to make sure we get as much information to the audience?
Quentin?
Well, you know what? I just think that, hopefully you guys can check out, what's on AAM.tv or AsianAmericanMovies.tv. Basically, Simon's work's on there, my work's on there, and we're going to be collecting more works. And I'm very excited about this AAMV Fest coming out, because I think that it will really showcase some up and coming artists and Asian American artists. So I think that's very fun and important at the same time.
Well, you heard it, folks. Let's get online and watch some amazing Asian American art and listen to some great music and enjoy some of the culture. Thank you for your guys' time. I appreciate you, Quentin, Simon. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you.
Same here. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll
Bye.
talk soon. Bye.
See you.
Bye.